Hello folks, my name is Jen. I'm from Golden State Times. Welcome back to the newsroom, and today I have a breaking news story. This one comes courtesy of Politico, and it says, border fiasco spurs a blame game within the Biden world. You heard it right, folks, and let's get right into it. And it says, top White House officials have grown increasingly frustrated with Health Secretary Xavier Becerra over his department's sluggish effort to house thousands of unaccompanied minors as the administration grapples with a record number of children crossing the border. It said the dissatisfaction with Becerra centers on complaints that he's been slow to take charge of the response since his confirmation on March the 18th, according to people familiar with the situation. The administration has scrambled to find new shelters and speed the vetting process of adults to take care of the children as thousands remain in packed detention centers along the border. It goes on to say that Biden aides, led by domestic policy chief Susan Rice and Amy Pope, a senior advisor on immigration hired to help direct the administration's border response, have pressed the health department in meetings over the past few weeks to pick up the pace, warning that the influx of unaccompanied children is only going to get worse into the spring and early summer. It goes on to say that but a month into Becerra's tenure, officials working on the issue have privately questioned his preparedness for managing such a sprawling emergency and his willingness to take ownership of a historically intractable and politically divisive problem such as this. So one senior Biden administration official said, quote, he did not fully appreciate the issue when he first came in. That same official went on to say, quote, it's been a steep learning curve for him. So the Biden administration is throwing this guy under the bus. That is what this really is. Biden is trying to find anyone to blame for this border crisis, and this guy is it. Let's see what happens with him. Let's see if he survives. It goes on to say that dismayed by the slow progress, the White House has concluded that Becerra's team needs help organizing care for the rising number of migrant children spread throughout the shelters administered by the Department of Health and Human Services Office of Refugee Resettlement, a population that's fast approaching 20,000 plus. So we have 20,000 plus unaccompanied children now being taken care of by HHS, which is run by this guy. It goes on to say that the scrutiny grew on Friday after Biden opted to keep in place a historically low cap of refugee admissions, which he later flip-flopped on, just like a typical Biden does. He says one thing, then when the left gets mad, he flip-flops and he does what they demand of him. And that's exactly what happened with this. Now he's going to bring in as many refugees as he possibly can within a certain time frame. So it goes on to say that some advocates blamed the decision of Biden, the primary decision of Biden, on the administration's struggle in processing unaccompanied minors, even though they are handled through a separate system. Now, to the radical left, they do not care. If they can process all of the refugees and the unaccompanied children, okay, fine. But if they can't, catch and release them into the country. That is what the radical left wants. That is their main goal. It goes on to say that Mark Weber, an HHS spokesperson, conceded that there have been tensions within the administration over this effort, but disputed criticisms of Becerra and Becerra's role as inaccurate and unfair. So he said in a release, quote, suggesting he doesn't have a grasp on the issue that is not apparent from the inside. So he went on to say that Becerra is deeply engaged and meets with several of his colleagues and senior leadership many times throughout the day to discuss the increase in migrant children at the border. And he went on to say, quote, you don't get to be nominated to be HHS secretary unless you know what's going on. It finishes off by saying that the White House has repeatedly refused to characterize the rise of unaccompanied children as a crisis until this weekend. This weekend, Biden was forced to call this a crisis, which he finally did, even as border arrivals far surpassed prior increases seen during the Obama and Trump administrations. Now, there could be many things that are happening here. One, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. He's completely useless. Or two, Kamala Harris is not allowing him to do his job. It's one or the other. It just has to be. Remember that we reported, I think it was a week or 2 weeks ago, that the person that was in charge of the border wall under the Biden administration had quit. She said in a press release that she did not quit because of Kamala Harris. Now, why does she need to put that in? She could have easily said, you know what, I wanted to keep my promise that the first 100 days of Biden, I was going to leave and leave it to somebody else or blah, blah, blah. But no, she had to put into her departure summary that she did not leave because of Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is the czar when it comes to immigration. Biden is not even keeping an eye on it. He gave the responsibility fully and completely to Kamala Harris. Someone that has absolutely no experience in immigration, no experience on border security, no experience in dealing with DHS and also Border Patrol and ICE. Now, Biden has Mayorkas, which is this Homeland Security guy. And he also has this guy, which is his HHS secretary. Both of them are Latino. Both of them speak the language. Both of them are descendants of immigrants. Yet they were not qualified. They were not qualified at all. Kamala Harris is the most qualified person, according to Biden, to fix this issue when it comes to immigration. But let us know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you guys think that this guy, they're using him and they're going to throw him under the bus and blame him completely for everything that is going on, since Biden wants to blame everyone except himself? Let us know in the comment section below. Also, make sure you check out our website, goldenstatetimes.com. You follow us on Twitter, you like us on Facebook. If you're new to the channel, we encourage you to subscribe and to click that bell. Also, make sure you click the thumbs up button, folks, because if you click the thumbs up button, you help us beat the YouTube algorithm. We hope that you guys join us on the next one. My name is Jen Goldstein, and I will see you here very soon. Peace.